Hey guys, hopefully this works. I am making a quick video over multi-step equations. I let these people in as I record. Multi-step equations that have variables on both sides. So remember, whatever you do to the left, you do the right. I'm on IXL, which is the assignment you have for today anyway. So obviously you're not going to get the exact same questions, but it's very similar. So let me see if this will work. There we go. Okay, so negative 2d plus 5 equals negative 7d. Now, before, we would have, if there was no d over here, we would have just said, we do this just like we are now anyways. I like to go like this to split it up. Seahawk colors, go Hawks, next year, I'll deserve. So we want to, first thing we want to do is we want to get our variables put together so we only have to deal with one term that has variables in it. So you could move either one. So you could move this one over to here and put it together, or you could move this one over to here. Now, it doesn't matter which one you do, but if you start to look ahead, it makes a little bit of a difference which one you move because it makes it easier for you. So for example, if I move this 7 one, this negative 7 over to here, then I'll have nothing left over here, which is not what I want. I want the letter variable to be on one side, and I want my answer eventually to be on the other side. So if I leave one blank, it's not terrible, but it doesn't make it as easy. So what I would do on this problem is I would take this negative 2d and I would move it so it's over here. Then all I have left is a 5 over here, and then whatever I get once I move it. So I'll start with that. So it says minus 2d, so I'm going to add 2d. Whatever I do to the left, I do to the right. This all gets canceled out. I'm left with, like I said, I have a 5 over here still. Negative 7 plus 2, right? Hopefully you practice these integers enough that you know. If you have a calculator handy, I guess, but these are pretty small. You should be able to do. Negative 7, if I'm on a number line, ooh, I'm in a camera, this might be backwards. Negative 7, come back 2. So I'm going closer to 0, but I don't make it. So I'm actually still at negative 5. And I still have the d there. Now, says times, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is divide. And based on, hopefully you've watched my other videos, you know that if I took something that was being multiplied and then I divide it by the same thing, that's like going right back to where I started. That'd be like saying, I want you to take 3 steps forward, but when you're done, take 3 steps back. Why do all that when I know I'm just going to be right back where I was? So that's why when it says times and you divide, that's why it cancels itself out. It just goes right back to where you were, which in this case is the letter D. 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1. So negative 1 equals D, and that would be my answer, which I would write up here. Now, I am not going to type it in yet because I just want to show you. I will redo this entire problem now, but I'm going to move the other variable just to show you how it could still work. Let me erase if it'll let me. Oh, that's going to take a while. No fun. Oh, sweet. There was a clear all. Look, I'm learning as I go, just like you guys. Okay, negative 2d plus 5 equals negative 7d. Now, what I told you was I would move the other one on this one. So make my lines first. Bobcat colors. Now, I'm going to move this negative 7. It says minus, so I'm going to plus. Oops, I wrote plus. It didn't show up. So this equals 0, so it's gone. So I'm left with 0 over here. I still have the plus 5 because I haven't even touched it yet. And I'm super laggy, so it's a little hard to keep it up. Negative 2 plus 7 is going to be positive 5d. Oh, gosh. There we go. I pushed a button. So just to remind you, I'm at 7 on this one, so I'm positive 7. Plus negative 2 means come back 2. So last one I was at negative 5d. This one I'm at positive 5d. And some of you are saying, Mr. Lentz, you're a moron. Side note, yes. But that's not going to work out. Watch. So it says minus 5, or excuse me, plus 5. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. So I'm going to minus 5. This equals 0. I'm left with 5 times d equals 0 minus 5 is negative 5. And so now it says times 5. I'm going to divide. Whatever I do left. Oops, it's really laggy. I do the right. There should be a negative here. It like glitched out. Okay, so this is gone, and I'm left with negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. The same answer. See, it didn't matter which one I moved. Just if you look at the beginning, sometimes it'll make it so you don't have to deal with negatives if you move this one rather than this one. Sometimes it just, like this one, keeps it so it's more balanced as you go. It doesn't matter which one you move first. It just matters that whatever you do left, you do the right. Whatever you do the right, you do the left, and you just keep flowing as you go. Again, some of them are very easy on the IXL when you first start, just like the last week's one. But I can't tell you enough. Have a whiteboard marker and everything ready, or paper and pencil if you don't have one, and write them as you go, like I just did there. It makes it a lot easier. Plus, when you start memorizing these steps, as you keep going through this year and then next year in the algebra, you're going to need to write the problems because they get bigger and bigger, and then when they get harder and harder. So make sure you're writing them down. And for those of you that think, Mr. Lentz, you don't even know what you're doing. First of all, why don't you believe in me, Mom? Let me just see if it will let me. Uh-oh, it won't let me. Go away, eraser thing. There. And I said negative 1, I believe. How do you like me now, Mom? How do you like me now? I did it.